We know we're getting old. That's not the issue. The issue is looking back, knowing we didn't make the most of our time. We regret our decisions. I hear people say they don't have any regrets because it made them who they are today. But they don't even like who they are today. They're lying to themselves. They heard someone else say that, thought it sounded good, and repeated it like it was their own words. Most of them are either hiding from the past or have zero agency. Either way, they're limiting their opportunity to learn, which will only lead to them making even more regretful decisions. The only people that get to say, I don't have any regrets because it made me who I am today, are the ones who actually took the time to learn. Regret isn't bad. It's just your subconscious saying you didn't do what you thought was right. Your actions weren't aligned with your values. And that presents an opportunity to learn. The issue is when you don't. When you regret your decisions and don't change your behavior. You keep repeating the same patterns, keep making the same mistakes. And years later, you end up being a completely different person to who you know you could have been. That's when regret gets bad. When you ignore it for too long, you're older, you have less time and you're more stuck in your ways. But it's never too late. You're still faced with the same decision you've always had. Keep going as you have been doing, or change. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to stop pretending you're fine with being the person who you know you're not. Short-term thinking leads to long-term regret. When you're so busy thinking about making yourself happy today, you forget about you tomorrow. You act solely on your animal instincts, forgetting about your goals and objectives. Resisting that pull is difficult, but the alternative is living a life you'll regret. The best approach is to always think long-term. Fast food, scrolling, TV shows, smoking, all sources of cheap dopamine, all just painkillers, all methods to escape. You're choosing pleasure now to avoid feeling pain, but that only creates more. You'll become overweight and develop anxiety. You'll be physically and mentally unhealthy. You'll look in the mirror and see nothing but regret. And that's not going to change unless you do. You start thinking of your future self, start taking care of him. And then when you wake up tomorrow and you are him, you'll thank your younger self. Everyone wants to get rich quick, but for what? Cars, watches, girls. You have to realize that none of those things will make you happy. Some of you will have to achieve those things or get those things to understand. Others, those of you who are more intellectual, can extrapolate into the future. Think about the things you were dying to have. When you eventually got those things, how long did the buzz last? Within a week, you was already thinking about what's next. You have to understand that human fulfillment comes from pursuit. The act of getting the thing, not having the thing, is what makes us feel good. So does it not make sense to extend that for as long as we can? To set a big goal, something worthy of accomplishing that's far off into the future. You can call it your mission, task or purpose, and pursue that over chasing short-term gains. If you're off the market because you're busy with your health or work, then fair enough. But if you're open to something, your intention should always be long-term. Fucking around with different people is a waste of time and energy, and it just tells me that you're unfocused. Shying away out of fear or inexperience is just backwards. The only way you're going to overcome your fear or your inexperience is by putting yourself out there. And staying in a relationship that you know isn't going to work is just immature. Ending it sooner is better than later. So if you're looking for something, then look. And if she's a walking red flag, move on. Regret is just feedback, a message from the person that you could have been. You can't ignore it and stay the same, or you can listen and change. You already know what needs to be done. You've known for a while, but the longer you wait, the worse it'll get. So stop lying to yourself. You don't need to fix your whole life overnight. Just stop making it worse. Start with one decision, then another, and keep going. That's how you build a life you'll be proud of looking back on.